1 month from today, we wrap up the regular season in the SEC, but between now and then, there is Coliseum in Athens, Georgia. The Georgia Bulldogs host the Ole Miss Rebels, kicking off a big day on the SEC Network. Alongside Debbie Antonelli, I'm Richard Cross. Glad to have you along for the ride. Ole Miss still in the conversation for an NCAA tournament bid. Debbie, what is it that makes them go?
I think they're special because they are fast in the backcourt. Brian Tyree leads them in scoring in the last 4. He's averaged 22 points. He doesn't always need a screen. He has that incredible explosion step. You talk about playmaking ability. Terrence Davis, the senior, can make plays all around the floor, and he's coming off a game where he had 7 steals, a career high. And their scoring duos in the SEC. We know about Grant Williams and Admiral Schofield, the #1 team in the country, Tennessee. Tyree and Davis are second in scoring combined behind the Tennessee combination.
Earlier today, the NCAA released the top 16 seeds. Tennessee, one of the top 4 seeds overall, a #1 seed and the #2 seed in the NCAA tournament. 8 SEC teams, according to our Joe Lunardi in his most recent edition of Bracketology, including the Ole Miss team that we will see today. The Rebels currently a #8 seed. This is an important game for them today. And Georgia trying to snap a skid of losing 7 in a row in the SEC, trying to find a way to get a win at home.
If Georgia's going to win at home, they're going to have to be on the glass. Tom Crean's team is going to have to keep the Ole Miss speed in front. They're going to have to guard the basketball, rebound, and make sure they get back in transition. Because the speed of Ole Miss is factors in on the transition game and in their rotations defensively where they can make some plays and some steals.
Georgia basketball veterans in the house today, including former Georgia head coach Hugh Durham. Decorated career for him. Nicholas Claxton will jump for the Bulldogs. Dominic Olejniczak for the Rebels. Underway, and Georgia controls the opening tip.
Right away, Ole Miss goes to trap out of their 1-3-1.
Hightower dumps it off, gets it back. Open look for Teyshawn Hightower, dead center. That's a good start for Georgia. Blake Hinson, Devontae Shuler, Terrence Davis, Dominic Olejniczak, and Brian Tyree in the starting lineup for Ole Miss. Tyree leading the team with 18 points per game. Devontae Shuler trying to answer, can't get it to fall. Georgia with a change in the starting lineup as Teyshawn Hightower draws the start today. He's the one that hit the 3. Jordan Harris, Rayshawn Hammonds, who leads this team in scoring at 12.9 per game.
Well, Rayshawn Hammonds with a size advantage in that matchup inside, and right away Tom Crean gets him isolated on the low block.
Terrence Davis, long 3, dead center.
Terrence Davis, he can light it up now. I mean, he is one of the more improved players from last year to this year. All of his offensive numbers, his percentages, everything is up from last season.
Hammonds from the corner, yes. Good start for Georgia. They've hit their first 3 shots and lead it by 5. There was a home game here in Athens about 3 weeks ago, part of the SEC Big 12 Challenge. Shuler from the corner, he's got a 3. How about this pace early?
I'm perfectly fine with no defense. I don't mind it at all.
Against Texas in the SEC Big 12 Challenge, Georgia shot 67% from the field and 71% from behind the arc. First miss inside is by Jordan Harris, but Georgia gets it back.
I see Georgia off to this hot start, and Claxton hasn't even gotten involved yet.
Hammonds beyond the free throw line, off the mark. Feed inside to Olejniczak, left it short.
And they love that drag screen in transition, and Olejniczak is a pick and roll guy. He's not going to pop. He's going right to the rim.
Ogbede catches it in the post.
Tom Crean's offense predicated on space.
Good pass by Hightower, finds Hammonds down low. Kermit Davis in his first season at Ole Miss, 484 career wins, 5 trips to the NCAA tournament. All-time winningest coach at Middle Tennessee, and has Ole Miss playing at a high level in year number 1.
Coach Davis knows how to win. 7 of his last 9 years at Middle Tennessee, he won the conference championship.
It's pretty strong. Hammonds at the free throw line. Rashawn Hammonds, 82% free throw shooter. Tom Crean also in his first year in the SEC. 19 seasons overall as a head coach, 18 of them at either Marquette or Indiana.
Yeah, memorable year in 03, taking his Marquette team to the Final Four. That's a high energy sideline over there between Coach Davis and Coach Crean today. Both those guys get after it in practice too.
And a no-tie Saturday. Both guys going with the no-tie look. DC Davis has checked in for the first time for Ole Miss, and he immediately turns it over. Stolen by Jordan Harris. Spin move in the lane. He has it stripped, and Ole Miss now stepped on the inline. Blake Henson couldn't quite finish the steal. Relaxed Saturday.
Relaxed, no way. Neither one of these two misses a detail, so there's definitely a reason why they're not wearing a tie. I just don't know what it is.
Ogbede. That 3 is good for Jordan Harris, and Georgia has made 3 from behind the arc in the first 3.5 minutes of the game.
It's good to see Jordan Harris getting back in rhythm. You know, last time we were here last week, he missed a couple of games prior with some concussion-like symptoms. Now he's getting back in rhythm. Switch by Georgia. It's going to be really challenging for those bigs to keep the smaller Ole Miss players in front.
DC Davis had it blocked, got it back, and able to get the roll. Ogbede working against Olenicek, goes strong to that right shoulder.
And he's playing with as much confidence as he's played with in his career at Georgia, Ogbede.
Fast start for Georgia. They've hit 5 of their first 7 shots, 3 of 3 from behind the arc, and a big move there by Derek Ogbede.
The 2019 SEC Gymnastics Championship is headed to New Orleans, Louisiana on Saturday, March 23rd, where the elite student athletes in the country will compete for the SEC Gymnastics Championship title. We'll see you in the Big Easy at Smoothie King Center on March 23rd. For more information and to purchase your tickets, visit secsports.com. SEC Gymnastics, it just means more.
The new Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. Now when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
When you need some space, you can get extra points while you get back on your game. Introducing a rewards program made to keep modern life moving.
It won't help you drive or pivot. It won't improve your shot because it's not a shoe. It's life insurance. With John Hancock Vitality, the healthy things you do are your discounts and rewards.
Red-hot shooting start for the Georgia Bulldogs. They lead it by 7 over Ole Miss early in the first half. From Stegman Coliseum on this Saturday, alongside Debbie Antonelli, Richard Cross. Earlier today, the NCAA revealed its for the first time this year, the top 16 seeds for the NCAA tournament. You would expect there to be representation from the SEC, and there was.
Well, yeah, we're expecting a big number from the SEC, right? Potentially 8 teams, according to Joe Lunardi. But the NCAA puts out their top 16 seeds, and they'll do this twice. This morning was the first reveal, and you'll see 2 SEC teams on this list. You'll see Tennessee as a number 1 overall, or second overall seed, but number 1 seed in the South. And then you'll see Kentucky, who is in the Midwest, as the number 5 overall seed. They'll get a 2 seed in the Virginia bracket. So interesting to see how that could play out if that holds.
Tennessee in the South, that regional final would be in Louisville. So not a bad drive for Tennessee fans. And then for Kentucky, they would be in Kansas City if they were to advance to the regional round. Georgia takes it away. Breon Tyree had it stripped by Claxton. He leads Georgia in steals. Rayshawn Hammonds got another one. Georgia 4 of 4 from behind the arc to start this game.
Coming off the timeout, the Georgia zone results in a turnover, and Hammonds with another bucket, running the floor hard.
Ole Miss down 10. Blake Henson spins in. Tough shot, and Hammonds pulls down the rebound.
Claxton just loses the handle. This is where the speed of Ole Miss can be a factor.
Was touched last by the Rebels.
You're going to see multiple defensive looks. Both these coaches are going to try to keep it mixed up and try to keep the other team off balance.
A lot of energy early from Georgia. And it's funny how making shots makes you look like you're even playing with more energy.
Make shots makes up for everything when you can see the ball go through the net, right? See right there, that is a sloppy play.
And Tyree off the front iron with the 3. Ngumeze chases down the rebound.
Maybe too quick right there for Tyree, who hasn't had a really good look yet. And then back-to-back turnovers.
And the exact same play as Schuler pulls up in transition. 2 trips in a row. T-Shawn Hightower has tried to feed it to Ngumeze, and he's just thrown it away.
You got to have a lot of patience if you're Tom Crean when you watch those 2 sloppy plays back-to-back. 3 in a row. I'm not even going to give Ole Miss credit on defense for those. I mean, as good as Ole Miss is defensively, that's just sloppy.
Georgia leading by 10. They've turned it over in 3 consecutive possessions.
Now you wonder if your team has the mental toughness to dig in here after making 3 tough mistakes on the defense, on the offensive end.
The basket, chance for a 3-point play for Ole Miss as the Rebels try to climb right back in it.
When you catch the ball in the elbow area, the lane line extended, Tyree uses that first step, that explosion step, to get to the rim.
Tyree, a good free throw shooter, misses that one. He shoots 84.5% from the line. Obede working against Bruce Stevens.
He's terrific right around the rim, especially when he can get to that right shoulder, left hand.
That snaps a string of 4 straight possessions with a turnover for Georgia. Got the 3 from Tyree. Tough shot.
Really tough. Contested all the way in front, out to the front of the Georgia bench. Yeah, I think Ole Miss is always better when they move the ball side to side. You want to get Georgia in rotation.
Turtle Jackson has come into the game for Georgia.
You got to go right back to Obede. They don't play him with 2. They play him straight up with 1.
Jackson runs down the loose ball. Hammond straight on 3. And Bruce Stevens pulls down the rebound.
And Hammond missed the switch because Tyree ended up having to defend Obede on the inside, and all he had to do was throw the high-low pass in there. Excuse me, that was DC Davis on the switch.
Davis on the drive, ball fake, and banks it in.
How about the former walk-on having an impact off the bench?
4 points so far for DC Davis. Ole Miss trailed by 10. They're now down 3 after making their last 4 field goals. Hammond's guarded by KJ Buffin.
Really good D.
Tyree pull-up 3 in transition. No. Ole Miss will get another chance. Feed into Stevens. Devontae Shuler steps into a 3. He's got it, and we are tied at 20.
Really good ball movement. Good job cutting through the defense as well.
First tie since 0-0. Georgia led 18-8. We're now tied at 20. Big 3 by Devontae Shuler to get Ole Miss back in it.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Gary, I am proud of you, my man. Making simple, smart cashback choices. With Quicksilver from Capital One, you're earning unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere. Like on that new laptop, Quicksilver keeps things simple, Gary. And smart, like you. And I like that.
I guess I am pretty smart.
Don't let that go to your head, Gary. What's in your wallet?
Tied at 20, Ole Miss and Georgia, 11-17 to play in the first half. Stegeman Coliseum in Athens, Georgia, tonight at 8:30 Eastern. It's another men's college basketball matchup for you on the SEC Network. Alabama on the road in Nashville to take on Vanderbilt at Memorial. You can always watch it on the ESPN app from anywhere. Commodores have won 4 of the last 5 in that series. Devontae Shuler for the season, averaging 9.5 points per game. He's got 8 points today so far for Ole Miss, including a couple of made threes. And Debbie, with Shuler in particular, his practice time has been severely limited for the last month.
Right, he wears a boot most of the time. He doesn't really practice, but he's ready for the games, and that's what's important. See if they can get Claxton going. They're trying to get him on a post-up.
Working against Buffin.
Good help by Shuler.
Shot clock at 2, at 1, and he's fouled on the shot by KJ Buffin.
That was a mature possession by Tom Crean's team. They're trying to get Claxton going. Claxton showing good patience with the basketball. Good footwork. Because he has not had a shot attempt in the game.
Claxton has been kind of everything this year for Georgia. He's got 6 double-doubles. Second on the team in scoring. Leads Georgia in rebounding, assists, steals, and blocks.
Offensive rebounding as well, so he can impact the game in a variety of ways. Even though he hasn't had a field goal attempt, he can do other things to help Georgia.
Claxton, a 65% free throw shooter, missed both of them. Stevens with a look at a 3. And Ole Miss gets the offensive rebound. Terrence Davis gets the friendly roll.
Both coaches talked about rebounding to us, how important it would be.
Was trailed by 10. They are on a 14-2 run. Turtle Jackson went down hard in the lane. And Torian Wilridge knocked to the ground on the drive.
This is the no dunk zone and Ole Miss's defense, right? Hard foul, earn it at the line. Good ball movement by Georgia and a good chance on a closeout to attack the rim.
KJ Buffin picks up his second foul. Wilridge, a 79% free throw shooter.
I like this smaller lineup when Claxton can play the 4-5. It looks like, you know, with him being 6'11", that's not considered a small lineup, but his face-up ability, his guard-like skills allows Tom Crean to move him around. Obeide's going to occupy the low block, right? We know he is a dominant low post player, but Claxton you can move and put in positions where you can take advantage.
Tyree got a three.
A really good ball movement again by Ole Miss. Good spacing.
Henson comes up with a steal, and now Davis pushes the break. Another triple for Breon Tyree and an offensive rebound for Bruce Stevens. Now Terrence Davis for three.
Trying to strike quickly before Georgia gets organized, maybe too quickly. But that's the speed, Richard. You see how quickly Ole Miss can transition from their defense to their offense because they run the lane so hard.
Steal there for Terrence Davis. He kicked it, ball still loose, and Ole Miss somehow comes up with that one. Georgia getting ready to bring three new players into the lineup. Terrence Davis. See him do a ton of that where he posts in the offense.
Well, they like to invert him to the block. He's capable because of his athleticism and his spring around the rim.
Turtle Jackson got a three. Good look that time from Jackson.
Hands down. Got to guard that ball screening action a little bit better.
113th career three-pointer for Turtle Jackson. He's in the top 20 all-time in three-point makes for the Bulldogs. A near turnover, and it is. Georgia a little aggressive with that outlet pass, and Ole Miss comes up with another steal. Tyree saw a seam, and he's fouled on the drive.
Just a miscommunication by Georgia. They've been switching a lot of that weave action at the top. Tyree doesn't need a lot of space to get to the rim. He just turns the corner, and he's always turning the corner, looking to get to the free throw line.
Breon Tyree has been hot lately, averaging 22.5 points last 3 games. He's got 9 in the first 12 minutes today.
And 9 would give him 1,000 on his career.
It's a good number to be sitting on.
Really nice.
Junior from Somerset, New Jersey, St. Joseph High School. Dealt with an ACL leading into his freshman season. ACL injury. Kind of took him a while to get going at Ole Miss.
He's a closer. You know, he is a closer when the games are tight. He makes free throws late. He handles the basketball. He can make shots.
Tyree had a career-high 31 in Ole Miss's road win against Vanderbilt to open SEC play this year. Earned SEC Player of the Week honors.
So as soon as Olejniczak comes in the game, Tom Crean gives Claxton a basketball on the top of the offense. And Ole Miss is in a zone.
Hightower off the mark. He missed that one badly, but Georgia gets it back. Claxton then gets his own miss. Shot clock is not reset. Hightower lets another one fly from deep, and that one barely touched the net.
They got fast break nets in this building. See how wide those nets are at the bottom? The ball goes out of there, you can get up the floor quickly. If both these teams like the full court press, you'd have a different kind of net, Richard. You have a tighter net, so you have an extra second to get your press set.
Olejniczak off the mark with a baby hook, but then a steal. Ole Miss gets it back as Luis Rodriguez comes up with a steal and a three from Blake Hinson.
Switching on that pick and roll. That's why Hinson right here, he's got that defensive assignment. That is a tough check for him off the bounce, trying to guard Hightower.
The 2019 SEC Gymnastic Championship is headed to New Orleans, Louisiana on Saturday, March 23rd. Where the elite student athletes in the country will compete for the SEC Gymnastics Championship title. We'll see you in the Big Easy at Smoothie King Center on March 23rd. For more information and to purchase your tickets, visit secsports.com. SEC Gymnastics, it just means more.
You make me feel like that.
The new Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. Now when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
When late night cravings strike, you can now get rewarded and keep the party going. Introducing a rewards program made to keep modern life moving.
It won't help you drive or pivot. It won't improve your shot because it's not a shoe. It's life insurance. With John Hancock Vitality, the healthy things you do are your discounts and rewards.
Let's check in with things at the Hump. Kentucky taking on Mississippi State. Check out Nick Weatherspoon with the dish to Eric Holman. Gets the basket and one. Right now, Kentucky leads 20-17.
Thanks, Alyssa. Back in Athens, Georgia, Stegman Coliseum, 30-28. Ole Miss leading it over Georgia. Breein Tyree. Part of the reason that Ole Miss went from trailing by 10 to up in this game, he's been red hot.
He's been terrific. He has knocked down shots off their defense, looking to strike quickly. Doesn't matter where Kermit Davis puts him on the floor, he's capable of making plays. And he goes over the 1,000-point mark. That gives Coach Kermit Davis two guys in the backcourt that know how to score as they stay alive in bracketology. I think they're fun to watch. I mean, I love the speed with which they play with. I like the energy that they play off each other with. I think Tyree and Davis are, along with what Bruce Pearl has in the backcourt, are some of the fastest guards in the league.
Offensive foul on Rashawn Hammonds here as Blake Hinson held his ground.
They scored on that matchup earlier in the game, and I like the fact that Tom Crean is trying to set up Rashawn Hammonds to score again, going over that right shoulder. You know, they got a bunch of lefties on this team. 6 of them.
Actually started 4 left-handed players against Alabama on Wednesday night, for what that's worth. 3 on the way for Hinson. He's got a second one and shows a little emotion.
That is 6 first-half triples for Ole Miss.
Both the Rebels and the Bulldogs have been hot from behind the arc in this first half. Nicholas Claxton trying to get in on the 3-ball action. Offensive rebound for Jordan Harris. Hightower No, and then a foul on the rebound try. See if it's Hammonds or Claxton. It is Rashawn Hammonds. On Wednesday, our next men's college basketball doubleheader starts at 6:30 with number 1 Tennessee hosting Frank Martin and the South Carolina Gamecocks. Then this Ole Miss team on the Plains to face the Auburn Tigers. It all gets started at 6:30 Eastern on Wednesday on the SEC Network and the ESPN app.
You can go ahead and lock your lock these dates on your calendar, especially that 8:31. I know South Carolina, Tennessee, everybody wants to see the number 1 team play. But the speed of Ole Miss and Auburn in the backcourt, that's going to be so much fun to watch.
Second meeting between those two teams. Ole Miss beat Auburn 82-67 in Oxford back on January 9th. Auburn a little bit different team inside Auburn Arena.
They play with a high pace, a high motor. That place is one of the loudest buildings in college basketball. And then during the break, the officials reviewed a shot by Hinson that they ruled as a 2 on the floor. They made it a 3, so they corrected that. And right here underneath the basket, we're looking in the paint of Georgia and the contact underneath the basket.
See Blake Hinson working there against Rashawn Hammonds. Hook and hold is what they're taking a look at.
Yeah, that is it was called a foul on the floor on Hammonds. They can go and look at it, and they can upgrade it.
If it is indeed considered to be a hook and hold, then it becomes a flagrant 1, which would be 2 free throws and the ball for Ole Miss.
Is that Hinson holding Hammonds? Is that what?
Well, that was late in the possession. Earlier in the possession, it looked like Hammonds kind of had Hinson pinned, and maybe one when it's all said and done where you say you had 2 guys that were fighting for position and it's a common foul.
I don't think they're going to upgrade it, but every time I say that, 75% of the time they go to the monitor to look at it because they're making an effort for player safety and to take this play out of college basketball.
Landis Poole, R.B. Clyburn looking at the monitor right now. Also, Josu Nieves, our 3rd receiver. This is in the middle of the play. Almost looks like they're holding hands.
It does look like that.
So if this is called a hook and hold, it's probably going to be on Hinson based on what you see from that angle. Taking a long look at this one. Landis Poole, the officials will come together.
You can't go to the monitor and add a foul. You know, you can't do that. Either you upgrade it or you keep it where it was on Hammond.
They stick with a common foul, which was originally charged to Rashawn Hammonds.
I think it's the right call.
Ole Miss now with a 5-point lead. Dante Schuler. And Tyree scoop in the lane. And then a foul on Ole Miss. This one's going the other way.
Really tough, too. Good defense by Georgia inside.
Blake Hinson picks up his 2nd foul.
He got away with a walk.
Ty Fagan turns it over, ended up on the floor and lost the handle. It's the 10th turnover in the first half by Georgia.
Yet if you're Tom Crean, you go, we're only down 2 possessions, so do a better job of ball handling because they have been sloppy.
Georgia had no turnovers in the first 4 minutes of this game and 10 turnovers since.
Got the switch, Claxton on Tyree.
Pull up for Brian Tyree. Pretty shot. He's got 12.
And he is shooting that over 6'11" in a shot blocker. That's how good his change of pace is.
Hightower. Jordan Harris on the drive. Stevens, offensive foul.
Stevens has the one-on-one. He's got the size advantage. He doesn't need to plow through the chest of Hightower here. He got the clear out. Make a post move.
Not a smart basketball play there. 4:11 to go in the first half. 7-point lead for Ole Miss, who trailed by 10. Ogbede working against Stevens, and Stevens pulls down the rebound.
Yeah, but that's a shot that Tom Crean likes, though, because he gets his players underneath or behind Ole Miss's defense.
KJ Buffin spin move and lays it in.
Got to guard the ball better. There's no help on the weak side.
KJ Buffin back into the game with 2 fouls and gets the bucket there. Hightower on the drive, and he's called for the offensive foul.
What a great job stepping in to draw that charge. But on the other side, it's offense. It's Brian Tyree over 6'11" Claxton. What a big start for him.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
She comes in colors everywhere. She combs her hair. She comes in color.
Joy by Dior.
Coming up in just a few minutes on the SEC Halftime Report, Antoine, Andy, and I are going to talk Kentucky, Mississippi State, a little SEC bracketology, but what have you guys seen from this game so far?
Georgia turning it over, Ole Miss making shots, same song, same dance.
Well, Georgia's been able to make some three-point shots and keep themselves in the game, but they got to take care of the basketball.
More in just a few. See you later.
All right, Alyssa, thanks. 11 turnovers in the first half for Georgia that have led to 14 points for Ole Miss. The Rebels trailed in this game by 10. They now lead it by 9 with 3:24 to play until half.
And Claxton 0 for 2 for Georgia. He's yet to get going, and off some ATOs, I thought Tom Crean's team has done a nice job of trying to isolate, whether it's Hammonds or Claxton. Well, look at the improvement that Nicholas Claxton has brought to the floor this year for Georgia. Got to be one of the most improved numbers in the league.
Brian Tyree had a little room, missed the 3 that time. Hammonds falls to the ground. He's tied up, and the possession arrow favors Ole Miss.
Ole Miss averages 21 three-point attempts a game. They've already taken 16.
Think they might go over the average today?
Yep, definitely.
Georgia started this game shooting it at an incredible pace. They hit 7 of their first 9 shots, but have made only 2 of 11 since then. Terrence Davis, tough shot. Harris trying to go coast to coast, left it short, and Stevens pulls down another rebound.
Now Stevens a much better matchup at the 5 position for the interior play against Georgia than Olenicek, who's played limited minutes for Kermit Davis in this first half. Tyree's got Obede on him. He's calling for the ball. Here you go. Here you go, Richard.
Shot clock winding down. Pull up.
Bang!
And he got it with 1 on the shot clock.
I could see that coming from here. He was calling for the basketball. He knows he has the hot hand. Georgia switches. There's no, if they're checking the clock on this, to me, there's no question that it left his hand.
It's not even close.
He just drives Obede back. I think they have to take a look at it, but I think it's good.
On Monday, our next SEC Inside gives you an all-access pass to Kentucky and Auburn basketball for never-before-seen footage and sounds from the season so far. Inside the Wildcats at 9 Eastern. Then it's Inside the Tigers right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Richard Cross, Debbie Antonelli with you from Stegman Coliseum in Athens. Georgia trying to snap a 7-game losing streak in SEC play. They've lost 3 in a row overall. Had the win against Texas in that string. Ole Miss trying to make it 2 in a row in the league after a midweek win against Texas A&M. Rebels currently projected as a number 8 seed in the NCAA tournament by Joe Lunardi in his most recent bracketology.
Boy, I didn't even think it was that close, but they're taking a hard look at it. Kermit Davis has extra time to design what he's going to do defensively right here. I'd look for them to trap at half court. I think it's good.
Yeah. Officials working in cooperation with the folks in Birmingham, the collaborative replay that is in use in the Southeastern Conference.
Both coaches taking advantage of the time. Now they're both stalking the sideline a little bit.
What are they looking at that we're not?
I don't know. I mean, they're counting it. It counts as a 2.
Just
there was not enough evidence to overturn it, right?
The monitor, get things right, replay, all of those things make sense. But we played basketball for a long time without that to see if there was a shot clock violation or not.
I thought we might see a change by Ole Miss in their defense.
Obede in the high post. And a turnover there. It's Christian Harrison trying to feed it to Obede, and he missed him by a bunch. There's a feed inside to Schuler. Tyree found a lane, goes high off the glass. Offensive rebound for Stevens, and he draws a foul.
Breon Tyree can take anybody in the SEC off the bounce to the basket. I don't know of anyone, maybe Ashton Hagen can keep him in front. I don't know.
We've
maybe
not seen
Bryce
that
Brown,
matchup yet.
Maybe Bryce Brown can keep him in front.
Second foul on Jordan Harris for Georgia. Stevens makes the first free throw. Debbie, he's got 6 rebounds in the game today. And at times, Bruce Stevens has been a liability for Kermit Davis. He's played well today.
Well, he's a physical guy up front, right? He's got enough foot speed to be able to stay with Obede. He's got some bulk to keep him off the glass. Obede is 2 for 3 from the floor with 2 rebounds.
Straight on 3 for Tyree Crump.
You know, even Stevens that time gave Schuler room to slide through and not go around the screen.
Crump, a guy off the bench that can give you instant offense. Terrence Davis drives in. Now Georgia trying to go in transition, tipped away by Breein Tyree, and then Ole Miss gives it right back. Buffin turned it over, 3 on the way, no for Georgia. Buffin rebound.
Got a chance for 2 for 1 here.
Stevens between Claxton and Ogbede.
That's a big bucket. That's a big bucket for confidence for Bruce Stevens on the block. We know he likes to pop and shoot the 3.
And Ole Miss gets the 2 for 1 opportunity. Crump fouled by Tyree.
Breein Tyree. He has had the hot hand for Ole Miss. We mentioned in the last 4 games, he's averaged 22 points. 12 times this season, he's been over the 20-point mark. He's got 14 so far in the first half to lead Ole Miss. And it's been a variety of jump shots, triples. It's been a little drag action in transition. Off their defense, looking to strike quickly.
Tyree Crump just made the 3 for Georgia, now at the free throw line. Crump averages 10 a game, junior from Bainbridge, Georgia.
.69% of the shots he takes are outside the arc. Now he likes to shoot the 3.
He has made 113 of 163 threes in his career.
That's the kind of offense I like to play in. I'm not surprised that Tyree doesn't. I am surprised Tyree doesn't get this last shot.
Terrence Davis gets it instead and makes the bucket. That pushes Ole Miss's lead back to 12. Let me correct what I said. Of the field goal attempts for Tyree Crump, it's 112 or 113 to 163.
Schuler, I thought would go Tyree's direction. Instead, they run their floppy action. Davis gets a wide open look. Multiple options offensively for Kermit Davis.
2 leading scorers for the Rebels, Breein Tyree and Terrence Davis. Tyree's got 14 in the first half. Terrence Davis has 7.
So now Ole Miss, your defense has got to make Georgia come back to the basketball here, inbounding on the baseline. Don't let them catch it moving up the floor. Crump's going to have 4, maybe 5 dribbles to try to get to the rim.
Claxton looking to try and throw it deep. He's nearing a 5-second call. That is a 5-second count. And Ole Miss is going to get another opportunity with 5.1 to play until the half.
But that is high-level patience by Tom Crean. Now look at this reaction. He can't get the ball in bounds.
15th turnover of the first half by Georgia.
This is better than a 2 for 1 for Ole Miss. This is a 3 for 1. 3 for 2, actually.
And now
they called traveling?
They did. Said Schuler moved on the baseline.
It's actually called a violation. You have a spot throw in, but you get a little bit of space. Even if you shuffle your feet, you get about 3 feet space out of bounds. It's not like a pivot foot like inside the lines.
Crump, now he's called for an offensive foul, a push off. Tyree Crump picks up his first.
We've had a lot of action here in the last 5.2. 2 violations and an offensive foul.
Schuler lets it fly from half court. Interesting end to what was an otherwise eventful first half. Ole Miss trailed by 10. They lead it by 12 at the break. Let's go to the studio.
Thank you, guys. Welcome into the SEC Halftime Report. Antoine Walker, Andy Kennedy, I'm Melissa Lang. We got a triple-A threat for you on this Saturday, breaking down all sorts of SEC hoops. We got to talk about the game we just witnessed, Coach. I know you haven't been happy with what you've seen from Georgia so far.
They're last in the league in offensive efficiency. They're last in the league in defensive efficiency. And then they just decided to turn it over 15 times in the first half. Ole Miss is going to make shots. You got to get stops, and you got to stop throwing it to the other team, or you're going to be 1-9 at the end of this Saturday.
When you go on the other side, Ole Miss has looked really good offensively, attacking, making sure they get inside the out, making threes, have made 7 threes.
Brian Tyree
is obviously having a great year offensively, but 7 guys to score for Ole Miss, so they're spreading the wealth right now. Did a good job to getting off to a slow start in the beginning of the game to get control of this game.
Georgia kind of desperately needs a win right now to climb back into the win column to get a little bit more momentum to close out February. What's Coach Crean saying at halftime right now?
Stop throwing it to the other team. 15 first-half turnovers. They actually made threes. You know, they're over 50% from 3. They're a good rebounding team. They do a good job off their offensive glass. But there's nothing that you can do if you're going to turn it over as much as Georgia has this year. 15 first-half turnovers, you're not beating anybody.
And Ole Miss got 10 steals. I mean, you got to take care of the basketball. But it's been their Achilles heel all season is the guard play for Georgia. They've yet to find a real true point guard, somebody that can handle the ball and take care of it. And it's cost them in a lot of games. And today, to make 7 threes and to be down 12, it really hurts because you don't really shoot the threes that well. So to make some threes tonight and not have the opportunity to be in the game, it hurts.
We can see if Georgia will hang on to the ball here in the second half. Let's check in with the rest of the league. Kentucky and Mississippi State at the hump, and this was a good one early. Check out Lamar Peters here with a little shake and bake to put Mississippi State up early. All right. Antoine, you all right? You okay watching that?
I'm okay right now.
You're all right because here's Keldon Johnson bringing it back with the big-time 3. Kentucky starting to pull away, but Mississippi State, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Check out Robert Woodard on the layup here. Right now, Kentucky has a 38-25 lead. This one was very back and forth early. Kentucky has started to run away with it a little bit. Very good at scoring in transition. Mississippi State gave up a couple key turnovers to let them take the lead. But what have you seen from this game so far?
25 points by Mississippi State, who's coming off 88 on Tuesday night against LSU. You know, they started this 3-game homestand. They had a heartbreaking loss in overtime to LSU Tuesday night. They need to find a way to bounce back. Great opportunity with Kentucky coming into your building, but you can't do it at 25 points in the first half. Kentucky's guarded all year, and they're continuing to do so.
Yeah, Kentucky's defense, while they've been on this winning streak, has been incredible. It shows again today, holding them 25 points so far in the first half. And then offensively, Kentucky just spreads the wealth, and P.J. Washington's playing great.
We've seen some great SEC basketball so far today. Ole Miss right now with a 45-33 lead over the Georgia Bulldogs at Stegman Coliseum. We will continue to keep you updated with the rest of the league. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It won't help you drive or pivot. It won't improve your shot because it's not a shoe. It's life insurance. With John Hancock Vitality, the healthy things you do are your discounts and rewards.
When redesigning the Honda HR-V, we thought, why not make it adaptable? For big stuff and small stuff. Why not nimble? Why not smart? Not just street smart, tech smart. We redesigned HR-V from Honda.
It's tax refund time. Instead of just throwing that money away, try Straight Talk Wireless. Now with 25 gigs of high-speed data on America's best networks. Plus, save up to $200 on a phone with in-store activation. Only at Walmart.
World full of same old, lame old burgers? Well, hit reset because Wendy's made a whole new world with the new Made to Crave menu featuring the peppercorn mushroom melt, barbecue cheeseburger, and the sauce and bacon cheeseburger. Try all 3 on the new Made to Crave menu today.
When I went on to Ancestry, I just put in the name of my parents and my grandparents. And as soon as I did that, literally, it was like you're getting 7, 9, 10, 15 leaves that are just popping up all over the place.
It was amazing. Just with a little bit of information, you can take leaps and bounds.
It's an awesome experience.
Hi. Hi. Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi. Hola. Hi. Hi. Okay, bye. Bye.
On February 22nd, experience the feel-good comedy of the year. It's a unique sensation.
So don't worry about being the next me. Be the first you.
Hey, you can't just hang out with The Rock.
Fighting with my family. Rated PG-13.
Our focus is too much focused on the end result. Tigers, 3 straight losses, desperate for a win. We got to get better.
Are you ready for more?
Dunbar, he'll fire a 3. Yes. Bryce Brown hits his 4th of the night. The Auburn Tigers desperately needed a win. They'll get it convincingly. Harper.
Deep 3, and he hit it way outside the line. Brown open on the perimeter, nails it. Harper leaves it for Brown.
That was something special. That was the Auburn team we saw most of last year.
This crowd is ready to erupt.
Inside, and there's Spencer again jumping out of the gym. Auburn's now won its last 3 ball games, and it feels like a different team than what we were thinking about just 10 days ago.
Auburn riding quite the wave into Baton Rouge as we take a live look at that game, getting ready to tip off in less than 5 minutes. Auburn LSU. This is going to be a good one. I'm really excited about this one. Of course, we will keep you posted as soon as it tips off until the very end. Let's take a look at the rest of the games going down this Saturday, starting with Arkansas, South Carolina. I'm excited about this one. Chris Silva, Daniel Gafford, what you guys got?
Big game. South Carolina's coming off a disappointing loss in Rupp on Tuesday. Need to protect home floor. Daniel Gafford, handful, Twan.
What you think, Twan? Who's going to win that one?
I like Arkansas in this game. I think Arkansas' ability now starting to make the shot, 3-point shot. South Carolina's going to come out really tough, but I like Arkansas.
Florida, Tennessee. Now, the last time these two teams faced off, Florida gave Tennessee quite a bit of trouble until just a couple of minutes left in that one.
This could be a good game. I think Florida could defend them, keep the game close. Still don't believe they can muster enough points to beat a Tennessee team, but the way they defended them the first time, I think Florida can make it very competitive.
Different game in Rocky Top.
Oh, absolutely. Texas A&M, Mizzou. This is an interesting game. Both of these teams certainly needing a win right now.
Yeah, desperately. Both teams are struggling, trying to find a way to keep their head above water. Missouri at home. Got to protect your home floor in February.
Finally, Alabama, Vanderbilt. This is another good one. Two teams that I think match up fairly well.
Me and Coach beg to differ on this game.
Hey, upset alert, upset alert, upset alert.
I like Alabama in this game. I think Alabama, obviously, they've had some inconsistency throughout the season, but I like where they're trending. They're trending in the right direction right now.
Hey, Alabama's been playing well and desperately need it. Vandy at 0-9 have been close so many times. May break through tonight.
Okay, here's what's at stake for all teams right now who are fighting to get into the tournament. If the season were to end today, the SEC... It doesn't, that's right. The SEC would be sending 8 teams to the tournament, which would be tied with the ACC, Big Ten, Big 12 for most among conferences. Now, according to ESPN.com, Tennessee, Kentucky, LSU, Auburn, and Mississippi State all have a 95% chance or better to reach the tournament. We will see. It's going to be here before you know it, and so will the second half of Ole Miss, Georgia, as the Rebs lead 45-33.
It won't help you drive or pivot. It won't improve your shot because it's not a shoe. It's life insurance. With John Hancock Vitality, the healthy things you do are your discounts and rewards.
When redesigning the Honda HR-V, we thought, why not make it adaptable? For big stuff and small stuff. Why not nimble? Why not smart? Not just street smart, tech smart. The redesigned HR-V from Honda.
So I have this recurring dream. I'm 85 years old in a job where I have to wear a giant hot dog suit.
What? Where's that coming from?
I don't know. I started my 401k early. I diversified. I'm not a big spender.
Oh, sounds like you're doing a lot.
But I still feel like I'm not going to have enough for retirement, like there's something else I should be doing.
With the right conversation, you might find you're doing okay.
So no hot dog suit.
Unless you want to.
No.
Schedule a complimentary goal planning session today with TD Ameritrade.
Now dominate with instant battle adjustments with a folding stock. Only Nerf Rival Hypnos.
Get 4 lines of unlimited data for $100 a month at Cricket. Ooh, someone's having a good hair day. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Artificial intelligence helps us meet the needs of tomorrow, today.
By 2050, we need to produce 60% more food. So how do we feed the world without wrecking the planet? Using Microsoft AI, we make predictions about when to plant, when to irrigate, and when to harvest. Now we can reduce waste and produce more food.
Artificial intelligence helps us change the way we feed the world.
Ole Miss looking to move to 6-4 and SEC play if they can get the win over Georgia right now, leading 45-33 second half, starting now.
It won't help you drive or pivot. It won't improve your shot because it's not a shoe. It's life insurance. With John Hancock Vitality, the healthy things you do earn you discounts and rewards.
When redesigning the Honda HR-V, we thought, why not make it adaptable? For big stuff and small stuff. Why not nimble? Why not smart? Not just street smart, tech smart. We redesigned HR-V from Honda.
Have you ever worked with Dr. Francis? Oh yeah, he's okay.
Just okay?
Guess who just got reinstated? Well, not officially. Nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. I'll see you in there.
Just okay is not okay, especially when it comes to your network. AT&T is America's best wireless network according to America's biggest test. Now with 5GE. More for your thing. That's our thing.
Be the best on the battlefield with new Nerf Rival Hypnos. Switch up the strategy with the foldable stock. Dominate, reloading on the run with the ejectable clip. The all-new Nerf Rival Hypnos. Bring only the best. Nothing but Nerf. Get 4 lines of unlimited data for $100 a month at Cricket. Ooh, someone's having a good hair day. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Artificial intelligence helps us meet the needs of tomorrow, today.
By 2050, we need to produce 60% more food. So how do we feed the world without wrecking the planet? Using Microsoft AI, we make predictions about when to plant, when to irrigate, and when to harvest. Now we can reduce waste and produce more food.
Artificial intelligence helps us change the way we feed the world.
Today in Athens, it is Letterman's Day. They are honoring over 100 former players, managers, support staff, and even former head coaches. Hugh Durham in the house today. A bunch of Georgia standouts on hand, including the father of a current Georgia player, Charles Claxton, with his daughter there on the court. Tom Crean earlier today saying it would be an honor to play in front of all the former players, coaches, and staff that will be at the game today against Ole Miss. Says the perseverance, dedication, and passion that was given by each individual, highly respected. Fun day in Athens. Alongside Debbie Antonelli, I'm Richard Cross. Glad to have you along on the SEC Network today. The story of the first half, pretty simple. For Ole Miss, big shots by Breein Tyree, and for Georgia, they gave it away way too many times.
Well, Georgia has the worst turnover margin in the SEC, and they usually can make up for that on the glass, but they weren't able to do that and to take care of what Breein Tyree was able to do. He was terrific in the first half, 14 points. But for Georgia, they're minus 11 on the turnover margin, Richard. They're plus 6 on the glass. So if they can take care of the basketball, we might see a little bit more zone out of Tom Crean's team. Of course, points off turnover, big in that category. That would help them make up some of the deficit. Take care of the basketball, keep Ole Miss in front.
For the year, Georgia averages 16.5 turnovers per game. They had 16 in the first half. Hightower got a three. That's the way this game began. And that is the third three for Hightower as Georgia quickly cuts the deficit to 9.
Coach Crean let me in on film today, and I'm telling you, it was as detailed as I've ever been in a film session in terms of high energy, clear, concise, and exactly the detail that he wanted. His team started the game with high precision. They're starting the second half that way.
And inside to Jordan Harris.
Well, they got to get Claxton going. He's 0 for 2. He's one of the top players in the league.
That's going to be Ole Miss ball going the other way. Do a little tightrope there on the end. I try not to fall all over the camera people. Hammond's frustrated. They've been looking for a foul on that shot attempt.
Hammond's got 2 fouls. He's got to be careful right there in that exchange with Davis.
There's a turnover. Davis trying to feed it inside to Olenicek. Claxton comes up with a steal. Harris into the lane. Can't get the roll, and it's touched last by Ole Miss.
Ole Miss staying in their man-to-man defense. Olenicek's got the matchup on Claxton.
Claxton dumps it off, gets it back, and then he is fouled by Terrence Davis. His first foul on Terrence Davis in the ballgame. I mean, looking at the numbers at the half, you were a little surprised given some of the issues that Ole Miss has had in the front court at times, that the combination of Claxton at 6'11 and Ogbede at 6'9 only took 5 shots.
I think they have a size advantage on the interior, especially when Bruce Stevens is in the game for Kermit Davis. But Coach Davis was able to play Stevens extended minutes in the first half. He had played 13 minutes. Olenicek only played 7.
Again, Davis trying to feed it into Olenicek. That's twice that's not worked. Davis, with the shot clock winding down, shoots an air ball.
And not a good start to the second half. I believe Davis is going to have to take a seat and get refocused. DC Davis is going to come in the game. I thought he had a good first half.
4 points off the bench in the first half for DC Davis.
So here, look at Olenicek away from the basket guarding Claxton. They're going to get him in that dribble weave. Absolutely, it's a good call. Absolutely, Tom Crean. It's a great matchup to take advantage of.
Again, Georgia cuts it to 9. Schuler working against Hightower, finds Henson. His three, no good.
Nicholas Claxton just has to be more aggressive. A little hesitation right there. He goes right into the chest of Olenicek. Olenicek cannot guard him away from the basket.
And Dominic Olenicek goes to the bench. Bruce Stevens comes in. Kermit Davis only needed to see that once.
Yeah, yes. But we knew that, right? That's why Bruce Stevens played 13 minutes in the first half.
Harris with the crossover, gets all the way inside and is called for an offensive foul.
It's a great job by Henson to step in. Plenty of time. Could have had a cup of coffee while he was waiting on this one.
Third foul on Jordan Harris.
I believe that's the third charge that Ole Miss has drawn. Their rotation on the back row is terrific. That means everybody's guarding the ball when you draw charges. Everyone sees.
Bruce Stevens has it rejected by Claxton. Ball knocked away, loose on the floor, touched last by Georgia.
That's a terrific hustle play by Henson on the road, right? You're playing on the road. You might have gotten away with a foul. Good hustle.
So Ole Miss steals a possession there for Georgia, or from Georgia.
I see Claxton stepping up his game here in the second half. You think Tom Crean challenged him a little bit? I mean, I think the guy's got high IQ, high motor. He's long, he's their best defender.
Claxton averages 12.5 per game. He was held scoreless in the first half.
But you got to keep Claxton moving so he can't block any shots. He's their top shot blocker and one of the best in the league.
Bruce Stevens this time fades away, and he's fouled on the shot by Rayshawn Hammonds, and that is his third. So now both Rayshawn Hammonds and Jordan Harris have 3 fouls. The free throw, we'll see Derek Ogbede come back into the game. Hammond's the leading scorer for Georgia, almost 13 per game. If you've not gotten ESPN Plus, well, it's time. College basketball, UFC, thousands of live events, plus the full library of 30 for 30 original shows. You can start your 7-day free trial. Be sure to download the ESPN app, or you can visit ESPN.com. Tyree Crump, too strong with the three, but an offensive rebound for Ogbede. Ogbede dumps it off. Claxton missed the dunk. Georgia and its fans wanted a foul. E.C. Davis from the corner. Claxton rebound. Claxton.
Gotta move.
Well, you see Georgia continues to feed it to Nicholas Claxton. He's fouled by Bruce Stevens. Was this one a goaltend?
I think
foul?
his hand was in the rim.
Tom Crean says, you got to help me out.
It won't help you drive or pivot. It won't improve your shot because it's not a shoe. It's life insurance. With John Hancock Vitality, the healthy things you do earn you discounts and rewards.
Hi. Hi. Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi. Hola. Hi. Hi. Okay, bye. Bye.
Miss up 11. Tom Crean today is wired.
Let's go. Come on. It's a long game, guys. Let's go. Good. Be ready. Be ready. Yeah. Good job, T-shirt. Yes, sir.
High energy all the time, every minute. This certainly brought out some energy in Coach Crean. Was this goaltending? I think his hand is in the cylinder.
Certainly Brian Tyree's hand went up through the net. I don't know if it affected the shot or not. It looked like he dunked it across the rim, but you still can't take your hand up through into the cylinder. See the basket interference and goaltending rules there. I guess by rule, maybe not a goaltend if he didn't actually touch the cylinder, Tyree, or get a hand on the basket, but Georgia probably would look at that differently. Bulldogs looking for a bucket. Down 11.
You have these dead ball opportunities, baseline out of bounds, sideline out of bounds, after timeouts, ATOs. Those are times when coaches expect your teams to execute. You also look for a change in defense, and that's what Ole Miss has done. They've gone to the zone off the timeout. Forces a deep three by Crump.
Schuler on the drive, has it blocked out of bounds by Nicholas Claxton.
I think Claxton is awake.
He just got a technical.
And I was just going to say, he doesn't have any fouls. He can be more aggressive, but that's going to count as a personal foul. A little taunting after the block, is that what it? He didn't even say anything, actually. He stood over him. Schuler, they called a double tech, so I think that's actually the right call right here. Well, you know, his dad's here. Passed him in the shot blocking category this week. Dad was a big-time player here. Charles Claxton.
Worth noting with the Charles Claxton, he passed him in shot blocking. He passed him for number 9 on the list. But Charles Claxton also owns the single season record with 94 blocks in a season.
Well, and he did it in his sophomore year, right?
Right.
It's impressive.
Tyree gets to the rim, gets the bucket after the offsetting technical fouls.
That's right, so equal penalties, no free throws. Back to the point of interruption.
It's the second foul on Devontae Schuler and the first on Claxton.
And Claxton was wide open under the basket and they missed him.
He's there for the follow down low.
He's the kind of guy that if they ran offense to him, he could dominate, and I would expect that next year. But he gets a lot of his offense and a lot of playmaking opportunity by the way he moves without the ball and the way he can impact and add value in other ways.
Foul on Georgia on T-Shawn Hightower. Debbie, you alluded to the fact that Tom Crean might very well have given a special challenge to Claxton at the half. He's playing with an entirely different energy level in the first 6 minutes of the second half.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of confidence in Nicholas Claxton. You watch him on film, you see what he can do. We were here last week. Doesn't matter if you're a sophomore. It's time for you to be a leader on this team. You have the best skill set in a Georgia uniform.
6'11" and can play all 5 positions on the floor. Shot clock down to 5.
Now we already know Tyree can take him off the bounce.
He steps back. Kept alive. Putback won't go for Terrence Davis, but it's tipped in by Buffin. It's a frustrating defensive possession for Georgia. Crump this time on the drive, hits the side of the backboard.
Not a good shot selection at all. It allows a transition opportunity and a wide open 3.
Tyree can't convert. Bruce Stevens, another offensive rebound. Tyree on the drive, lays it in. Fourth consecutive game for Breein Tyree with 20 points.
She comes in colors everywhere. She combs her hair. She comes in color.
Joy by Dior.
It won't help you drive or pivot. It won't improve your shot because it's not a shoe. It's life insurance. With John Hancock Vitality, the healthy things you do are your discounts and rewards.
Get 4 lines of unlimited data for $100 a month at Cricket. Ooh, someone's having a good hair day. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Number 12, South Carolina. Number 5, UConn. Oh my. Monday at 7 on ESPN2.
How about that matchup coming up Monday night? You'll be in studio. Yeah. You'll have a good seat for that one with some guy named Landers next to you, right?
Yeah, Coach Landers and I'll be occupying the chair next to him. This is, ironically, I believe, South Carolina's best opportunity to beat UConn, even with the Asia Wilson 3-time SEC Player of the Year years, okay? And take a look at all the Final Fours and SEC championships that Andy Landers put together here. 5 Final Fours, a couple of championship games. But I am really looking forward to that. South Carolina women's depth up front could give UConn problems on the glass, and I think that small lineup on the backcourt that Dawn Staley plays is a lot of quickness for Connecticut to handle.
That game coming your way Monday night at 7 Eastern on ESPN2. Right now it's Ole Miss leading by 15 over Georgia, and if you're late joining us, Georgia led by 10 early in this game as Jordan Harris misfires.
It's a really good ball movement. They execute, spacing, they get the shot they want, they just don't make it. And this is a little detail, but when Tom Crean goes back and watches on film, the pass that went from the corner back up to the top to Nicholas Claxton made him drop his hands all the way to his ankles. For a shooter, you want to catch the ball with your hands up and ready, not have to drop your hands below your waist.
Ole Miss turns it over that time. A little miscommunication with Tyree and Stevens. I said earlier 4 straight. It's actually 5 straight 20-point games for Breein Tyree. First Ole Miss player to do that since Stephon Moody in the 2015-2016 season. He had 14 straight 20-point games.
He was a player.
Claxton.
Good D by Stevens. That's really tough, too, right there by Claxton. You get the ISO in the pinch, which is the elbow. Watch the footwork of Claxton. Stevens walls him up and then gets called for the foul. I honestly don't see the foul there, but Stevens picks up the personal, and when we come back, Claxton will be at the free throw line.
Now that I've got you here for a minute, or 2 actually, I've got to tell you something. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase, every day.
My credit card only earns double miles on airline purchases.
Well, you earn double miles on this and on everything with the Venture Card.
Thanks. Hey, by the way, how'd you get in here?
Same way you did. Cross-checking.
Nice.
What's in your wallet? Oh, come on!
It won't help you drive or pivot. It won't improve your shot because it's not a shoe. It's life insurance. With John Hancock Vitality, the healthy things you do are your discounts and rewards.
Hi. Hi. Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi. Hola. Hi. Hi. Okay, bye. Bye.
In Baton Rouge, Auburn having their way so far with LSU. Check out Chuma Okeke for 3. Auburn currently leading 26-12 over LSU.
LSU coming off that win in overtime against Mississippi State earlier this week. We've got Auburn coming your way on the SEC Network on Wednesday night when they host Ole Miss. That game is at 8:30 Eastern, and it follows South Carolina at #1 Tennessee on the SEC Network, and of course, streaming on the ESPN app.
Well, Auburn could creep back into the polls this week if they get that win. And I was in Baton Rouge this week. I had a chance to visit with Tremont Waters. What a nice young man, and what an incredible season he's having. If you haven't seen LSU play, you need to tune in and check them out.
Unbelievably athletic.
Highly skilled and talented, and playing with another level of maturity this year for Coach Wade.
First bucket of the game for Olanichek. He was able to get a good seal down low. Claxton again.
Yeah, that time Olanichek did a good job of getting him underneath the backboard.
KJ Buffin called for an offensive foul. He tried to jump stop and avoid the contact, but Turtle Jackson stood in and took the charge.
Now let's see how long Olanichek can stay on the floor defending Nicholas Claxton. And see if Coach Crean goes into his weaving action, maybe his chin action offensively.
You think Olanichek more comfortable defending down low as opposed to?
Absolutely. I mean, he doesn't want to chase guys around the perimeter. It's too quick for Crump. I mean, I know he can get that 3 off at any time. He's capable. Let's see if he can move the basketball and get Claxton going. Yeah, that's a
Jack working against Claxton down low.
Sorry, Richard. I was watching that matchup because we know in that matchup with Claxton, Olanichek is a pick and roll guy, which means he's going to set the screen and he's going to roll hard to the front of the rim. And he does a great job of getting position and burying Claxton inside. That's where he has an advantage with his size on the offensive end against Claxton. Claxton has an advantage on the other end, having to make Olanichek guard on the perimeter.
Harris runs down the rebound. And then Schuler trying to come up with a steal. He's eventually called for the foul. Not on the initial contact. Actually, Blake Henson called for the foul. Third on Henson.
I like putting Olanichek in the game at this point for Kermit Davis because it makes the space around him change, right? It gives the perimeter guys an opportunity to find some angles because he posts up so hard.
Turtle Jackson got a 3.
Good patience. Much better. See, that time Crump, instead of forcing a 3, he makes one more pass to the wing.
Georgia started this game 4 of 4 from behind the arc. Since then, they've hit only 5 of 16. 3 by Jackson makes it a 12-point game. Halfway through the second half, Georgia has not managed to cut into the 12-point halftime deficit.
Remember that wired sound we had Tom Crean talking to his guys about this being a long game, right? You only got to get 3 or 4 stops in a row. If you can do that and come down the other end and execute, you can get right back in it. Put some game pressure on Ole Miss.
Hansen with a nice move to avoid the defender. Here's another look at 3, and that missed badly by Jordan Harris.
Smart decision by Schuler.
Are you at the point where on the offensive end for Georgia, you want to see Claxton touch it at least once every possession?
I'm getting pretty close to that point.
Olenicek and Turtle Jackson tied up, and Jackson called for the fouls his first. Now Ole Miss is in the bonus with 9 minutes and 12 seconds to play.
Olenicek again, strong post up, and then you see they get wrapped up. Not quite a hook and hold, but they definitely were tangled.
Actually, the next foul is going to take Ole Miss to the bonus. That's the 6th team foul on Georgia. Our official was signaling 1-1. How about that feed? Henson down to Davis.
Perfect time for Kermit Davis to run that set out of bounds, knowing that Georgia is starting to pick up their energy level so you can get a backdoor offensively. And then shot selection becoming an issue for Georgia.
Henson catch and shoot. Shot an air ball, and then a foul on Schuler. And that's the 7th on Ole Miss, so now Georgia will go to the free throw line.
So if you're keeping track for Kermit Davis, that's back-to-back mistakes right there. They take a poor shot and then they foul, although it would have been a layup on the other end.
3rd foul on Devontae Schuler. Remember, he had the double technical earlier with Nicholas Claxton.
It's a good time to give Claxton a break right here under the 8. There'll be a timeout.
Tonight at 8:30 Eastern, another men's college basketball game for you on the SEC Network. Bama and Vandy. See if there's any Memorial magic as Vandy tries to snap that losing skid in the SEC. Coming your way 8:30 Eastern, SEC Network, and on the ESPN app.
I believe this is the action that Tom Crean wanted his team to go starting man and go to zone, but you've got to locate the shooters. They didn't do a good job of defending. I heard that detail from Coach Crean today in shoot around.
Blake Henson, 3 of 5 from behind the arc. He's got 11 points. Jackson feeds it in low to Ogbede. He is fouled. Chance here for a 3-point play for Derek Ogbede.
Well, the first mistake is Olenicek leaving his feet in the corner. When you leave your feet like that, you allow guys to drive by and have angles to the rim.
Foul on KJ Buffin. He'll go to the bench with 4.
If Ogbede had position inside, Richard, and you were on the perimeter, and he told you to get him the ball, don't you think you would throw it in there?
I think I would 100 times out of 100. He has progressed so far.
Yes, he has.
Offensively.
He's tough. I mean, he's tough-minded. He's smart. He's aggressive around the rim. He's a really tough check on the glass.
Ogbede had 17 in the loss to Alabama on Wednesday night. Tyree. Henson guarded by Ogbede. Shot clock at
Look at Ogbede moving his feet.
DC Davis has to hurry it. And an offensive rebound for Olejniczak.
Tyree bringing it back out. That's a backbreaker for Georgia. They played terrific defense in that possession, but you got to finish it off with the glass.
Just under 7.5 to play. Ole Miss leading it by 15. Tyree on the drive, no. Sean Hammond's back in. He's been on the bench for a while, and Hammond's called for the offensive foul, and that is his 4th. Ole Miss by 15. We'll be back to Stegman after this.
It won't help you drive or pivot. It won't improve your shot because it's not a shoe. It's life insurance. With John Hancock Vitality, the healthy things you do earn you discounts and rewards.
Get 4 lines of unlimited data for $100 a month at Cricket. Ooh, someone's having a good hair day. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Artificial intelligence helps us meet the needs of tomorrow, today.
By 2050, we need to produce 60% more food. So how do we feed the world without wrecking the planet? Using Microsoft AI, we make predictions about when to plant, when to irrigate, and when to harvest. Now we can reduce waste and produce more food.
Artificial intelligence helps us change the way we feed the world.
Ole Miss leading by 15 over Georgia, 7:12 to play. Time for us to take a look at today's Good Hands All-State play. The Good Hands play from All-State. We go into the Wayback Machine to the 1990 Georgia team that won an SEC championship. Tough day for Melinda Durham. She was sweating it out. Georgia had to have the win against LSU to win the conference title. Nerve-wracking down the stretch.
She's literally falling out of her chair.
Clutching that pom-pom in the old wooden seats in Stegman Coliseum. Georgia wins 86-85 over number 12 LSU in 1990. By the way, you can't rush the floor anymore after the game.
Okay. You mean, you think I would?
No, I'm not saying you would, but Georgia fans, that would cost them now.
That's right. It costs in the SEC, doesn't it?
They're wearing uniforms today that are a throwback to the 1990. The same uniforms with the G on the side of the shorts. Although I feel like they kind of cheated on the throwbacks. I'm not sure those are quite as tight or the shorts are quite as short.
They look good though. Good uniforms, right?
It's the Letterman's weekend here at Georgia. Alex Kessler led the way on that 1990 Georgia team.
A little three-quarter court pressure. Like a 1-3-1 back into, or a diamond in one, back into their man-to-man defense.
Davis feeds it inside to Olejniczak. Tried to do it a second time, and Ole Miss turns it over.
Now, Terrence Davis did not have any turnovers in the first half. He's got 3 here in the second.
And a quiet day scoring, only 9 points for Terrence Davis. Fagan with the 3.
You can set up your pressure on a made basket.
Schuler and Tyree working against the Georgia pressure. Georgia's got a run in them here at Stegman Coliseum. Terrence Davis off the mark. Tom Crean directing traffic from in front of the Georgia bench.
Ogbede wants him to come his way. He's been asking for the basketball to his side of the floor.
There's the screen and he rolls down, but Terrence Davis kind of filled the gap. Then a travel. Georgia turns it over.
You just got to give Ogbede a chance to shape up to the basketball. He is working inside. He is telling his perimeter guys what angle he wants the ball to come to him at.
And now Ogbede goes to the bench. Georgia's given themselves a chance here in the second half. After 16 first half turnovers, only 3 in the second half.
Tyree just back it up on Claxton.
Tried to dump it off to Stevens. He got it back. Five minutes to play. Ole Miss with a 12-point lead over Georgia. Rebels trying to win for the second time this week. Hammonds spins into the lane with the left hand, too strong.
Hammonds picks up a cheap one. You got to have better discipline than that.
Day's done for Rashawn Hammonds.
I mean, he is a big body that had a great start to the game, right? He was hitting triples. He was getting out on the break. Got 2 fouls. He sat. Now he's going to sit the rest of the game.
Rashawn Hammonds 10 points, but fouls out with 4:47 to play.
His last basket was about the 15-minute mark in the first half.
Ole Miss, top free throw shooting team in the SEC at 76.9%. They trailed by 1 against Texas A&M on Wednesday night with about 2:50 to play in the game. Made their final 12 free throws to win it at home.
Remember, I used the word closers. You know, that's what Ole Miss has in the backcourt. They handle, they make plays, they understand time and score, and they can make free throws.
A quiet 11 points today for Terrence Davis. Now they're on Ole Miss. Davis picking up his second foul.
Davis coming off a game where he had 7 steals, a career high. He has that kind of playmaking ability on the defensive end. You know, Kermit Davis is known for his 1-3-1 into a 2-3 when the ball goes below the free throw line defense. There are a lot of coaches across the country at every level, men's, women's, you name it, basketball, even the NBA, that have tried to implement his scheming in that kind of zone.
Tom Crean told us this morning he was watching a Detroit Pistons practice a year ago in the season that he was away from coaching. And Stan Van Gundy, who was coaching at the time, had installed the 1-3-1 and had talked with Kermit Davis about how to run that effectively.
That's
Terrence
respect.
Davis blocked.
Rotating off the help. Good block inside by Jordan Harris.
How about those hops? He got way up on that. Tyree all alone in the corner. Might want to guard him. 23 points for Breein Tyree.
remember we talked about 69% of the shots are threes. He's trying to make something happen where there's not a lot of space to make it happen off the bounce.
Ole Miss trying to win it on the road and move to 16-7 on the year.
It won't help you drive or pivot. It won't improve your shot because it's not a shoe. It's life insurance. With John Hancock Vitality, the healthy things you do are your discounts and rewards.
Hi. Hi. Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi. Hola. Hi. Hi. Okay, bye. Bye.
An update from Kentucky, Mississippi State at the hump. The Bulldogs had brought it to within one. Kentucky trying to pull away again. Hagan's here with the bucket. Kentucky currently leading 56-50. Now our next game here on the SEC Network, South Carolina hosting Arkansas. Daniel Gafford going to try to do something for his Razorbacks, averaging 16.8 points per game. Guys, back to you.
All right, Alyssa, thanks a lot. You look at the net rankings currently. Tennessee at number 4, followed by Kentucky at 5. Ole Miss sitting at 41. And from a metrics standpoint, today was an important game for Ole Miss. You're glad to get the win. You couldn't afford a loss to a team outside the top 100 in the net rankings. Told you earlier, Joe Lunardi, our bracketologist here at ESPN, has currently Ole Miss in the field of 68.
Well, remember, they were ranked earlier this year. First time they've been ranked since 2013. Had a great start. Got some good wins, a split with Mississippi State, your rival. Got a win over Auburn.
And a non-conference win against Baylor. Neutral site. It is a quadrant 1 win. Ole Miss currently with 3 quadrant 1 wins. Breein Tyree now with 25 points. And Ole Miss with its biggest lead up 18. Harris with the basket. How about Breein Tyree? He has made 10 shots in this game. 10 of 20. Nobody on either team has more than 4 made shots in the game.
Yeah, he's been terrific, and Tom Crean has rotated a lot of different guys on him. They like to switch in their man-to-man, so different players have had to try to keep him in front, and it is a challenge. I don't think anybody can. Look at that move. He's just got great feel for the game, time and score. He's not a ball stopper, but at the end of the shot clock, Kermit Davis has no problem with him having the basketball in his hands.
Well, in that last possession, Schuler had it with 6 on the shot clock and gave it away to Stevens, and then Tyree's got it 25 feet from the basket with 4 seconds on the shot clock and takes it all the way in.
I mean, smart. He reads, and he's so explosive in the gap.
Nicholas Claxton at the free throw line. Georgia in the double bonus.
Any win on the road in the SEC this year is a big win. I mean, it's hard enough to win in this league.
Even though it feels like Nicholas Claxton has been more involved in the second half, and he has, he still has only 7 points on 8 shot attempts in the game.
Some of that is the matchup this afternoon with Olenicek or Bruce Stevens. Some of it is guard play for Georgia, not finding him when he's available or when he's open. Some of it is his work without the ball.
McKinson gets it to Terrence Davis. Jumper at the free throw line, rims out. Harris runs it down. Crump lets one fly.
Hinson's going to go to the free throw line.
Tonight, the SEC Now team will be back after Alabama Vandy. 10:30 Eastern with all the hardwood highlights, analysis, and post-game interviews. Check it out because nobody covers the SEC like we do. You can also see it streaming live on the ESPN app. Blake Hinson will be at the free throw line. This is a difficult stretch right now for Georgia. They're going to fall to 10-13. They are going to lose their 8th consecutive game in the SEC. But Debbie, Georgia fans get a huge tip of the cap right now. They had their 6th consecutive sellout today and their 7th in the last 8 games. And there's a few scattered empty seats, but another big crowd here at Stegeman Coliseum.
I think these fans here recognize Tom Crean's genius. You know, I mean, it's going to take 1 or 2 guys that he brings here that is going to change everything for them. This is a great place to build it. It's been, of course, seeing Coach Durham today makes you think that it's going to be good times ahead, right? I mean, he's the all-time winningest coach here at Georgia.
First ever postseason berth for Georgia back in 1983 under Hugh Durham. Went on to win the league in 90 and 08 as well.
And that's what happens when you dribble the ball too much and you don't pass it. You get it picked.
Turtle Jackson picks up a foul in the backcourt. Ole Miss up 16 with 1:33 to play.
Well, Ole Miss and Kermit Davis concerned about rebounding today, right? They did a terrific job on the glass. I thought their second half offensive rebounding really helped them extend some possessions when Georgia had played some good defense and just couldn't finish it off.
Ole Miss out rebounding Georgia today 37-31 with 12 offensive rebounds. Tyree adds another to his total now with 28 in the game. By the way, career high for Breon Tyree came against Vanderbilt in the SEC opener when he had 31. That's within shouting distance with 1:33 to play.
I think he has definitely benefited, Tyree has, from the offensive spacing and the pace with which Ole Miss plays. And I love the speed of their backcourt. I think it's their greatest asset.
Long three from Crump. Tyree bumped by Crump. He will go back to the free throw line, and Breon Tyree is going to have a chance to match that season high and career high 31.
What's interesting about Ole Miss to me is when you look at them on one of the paper, one of the stats that jumps out to me is they shoot 21 threes a game, only 19 free throws. But in all the close game situations that they've been in, that number's almost magnified more on the threes because they make free throws late game, right? So it's very telling about the way they play, how fast they play, how much they move the ball. It's not about just taking threes and not tough twos. It's about their ball movement. It's part of the reason why they take that many threes, because they get open looks.
And not a ton of free throws today, to your point, but Ole Miss 14 of 15 from the line. Breon Tyree has scored 20 or more in 5 straight games and matches his career high with 31 today. And not shockingly has the ball in his hands now, being guarded by Ty Fagan. Tyree on the drive has it blocked.
I mean, he can get by anybody, you know, and that's part of the scheming for Kermit Davis. You don't have to bring a screen to him so that he gets double teamed, right? You just let him go one-on-one. But if you want him to get double teamed, he's capable of making a play out of that. So it's a nice piece of execution to have late game.
Terrence Davis fouled with 3 on the shot clock by Crump. And we'll go to the free throw line. Third foul on Crump. Ole Miss will go to Auburn on Wednesday night. And they've got a home game against Missouri and a road trip to South Carolina. It's really interesting to watch this Ole Miss team down the stretch, to see if in year one they can go from being, at year one of Kermit Davis, go from being picked last in the SEC preseason to potentially getting into the NCAA tournament.
Joe Lunardi has them at an 8, right? They got an 8 seed right now?
It's almost like they've got a little breathing room.
Well, I don't know if you got any breathing room.
Kermit Davis would not agree with that, right?
That's right.
Connor O'Neal, Mike Edwards come into the game.
But when you look at the quality wins and some of the tough losses, I wouldn't say bad. I don't think there's a bad loss. They have some tough losses. Losses to teams that could be in the tournament.
Yeah. Ignas Sargunas also into the game. Tyree Crump gets a bucket. This won't be able to quite dribble out the clock, but a 5-second difference. Rebels going to move to 16-7 on the year and 6-4 in the SEC. And there's a log jam of teams that were 4-5 or 5-4 coming in. Rebels will at least not lose any ground with that group of teams this weekend, as that free throws coming up here for Ryan Halems.
Well, after spending time with Tom Green on the court, watching him work, going into the film room with him, which he graciously allowed me to sit in on film with his guys. I mean, it is repetition, it is execution, it is teaching. It is very visual. I mean, it's very clear to me what he expects from his guys. And I believe he will be delivering on a team that will have success here.
JoJo Toppin has come into the game for Georgia as well. Both teams, both coaches emptying their bench at the end. Crump lets one more fly from deep. And Ole Miss gets the win. A 16-point victory for Kermit Davis's club on the road to get to 6-4 in the SEC. The losing streak in league play continues for Georgia as they fall to 1-9. Ole Miss winning here in Athens for the first time since 2012. Brian Tyree led the way for Ole Miss, tied a career high with 31 points on 11 of 22 shooting. For Debbie Antonelli and our entire SEC Network crew, I'm Richard Cross. Ole Miss 80, Georgia 64. Let's send it to the SEC Network studio.
Thank you, guys, as we get ready for our next matchup in Columbia, South Carolina. Arkansas visiting the Gamecocks, and I know we're looking for a big game from Isaiah Joe, guys.
Yeah, he's going to have to play well, make shots like he has been doing all year in order for them to break through on the road.
Of course, on the other side of the ball, Chris Silva for the Gamecocks has been their standout all year. Twan, what do you want to see from Silva this evening?
Always the big question mark with Chris Silva is, can he stay out of foul trouble, stay on the floor? When he's on the floor, they play really, really well. He gives them every opportunity to win. So if he can stay out of foul trouble, sky's the limit how good Chris Silva's going to play.
About 30 minutes away until tip-off in Columbia. Until then, we are here to get you caught up, to get you ready for the rest of the SEC action. Antoine Walker, Andy Kennedy, I'm Alyssa Lang. Guys, we have to go back and chat a little bit about this Ole Miss-Georgia game. Georgia just not playing good basketball right now. Ole Miss took advantage of it, and they got a nice win.
It's a good win for Ole Miss. You need to try to break through on the road, especially with games that could hurt you from a numerical standpoint. Ole Miss dominated the game. After a slow start, Georgia was making shots early. I thought Ole Miss was really good defensively.
All right, now let's bring in the winning head coach, Kermit Davis of the Ole Miss Rebels. Coach, congratulations on a great win. What was your game plan going into this one today to make sure you guys got a must win?
Well, the biggest thing is that you had to keep Georgia off the offensive glass. And like the last three games,
They've been getting about 19 offensive rebounds. We came out, and I just heard Andy say it. I mean, they made shots. We were kind of flat-footed, got down 18-8. And then really from that point, it may have been about the best that we've played almost since our Mississippi State game. We had a good sound effort defensively. Obviously, Breon Tyree was good. And the biggest thing, it was great to see Bruce Stevens kind of assert himself, rebound the ball. That's what we need from Bruce.
Kerm, AK, congratulations. It's never easy on the road, as we both know. You just touched on it. Can you elaborate on what you've done differently in the last week defensively? That's where you've been outstanding. Offensively, you've been very efficient all year. You didn't turn the ball over. You're getting your playmakers in space. But defensively, I was really impressed with your effort, most especially in the second half.
Yeah, thanks, AK. You know, I just think that we got tougher on the ball. You know, Devontae has been hobbled, and you know him better than anybody. He's been hobbled a little bit with his stress reaction. I think he's getting healthier, so on ball defensively, he's helped us a lot. I thought Breon Tyree had great energy. The biggest thing is that if you just will not give Georgia second shots, you got such a better chance, and we did that for the most part today.
Coach Antoine, congratulations on the great win today.
Thank you.
Just talk about Breon Tyree. I mean, this guy's been amazing offensively. Seems like he's getting better and better. And obviously today with tying his career high with 31 points.
Yeah, Breon has just been terrific. He's playing as good as any guard in the SEC right now. He's a great talent, and I tell you what he is. He's been a great leader for us in our locker room. I thought today he was a lot more active defensively. And as we all know, you know, the guy will really be alert and really have a physical presence defensively. It helps shot making for some odd reason, and he did everything today.
Thanks so much, Coach, for joining us. Congrats again on the win and safe travels back.
Congrats, Kerm.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, we're going to check in on Kentucky, Mississippi State. Actually, let's talk Florida, Tennessee right now. No, it is Kentucky, Mississippi State. This one's still going. We got about
we got time. We'll talk about them all.
We have so much time, and we have so much basketball to be played right now. Antoine, we've been paying very close attention to this one because Kentucky keeps taking a little bit of a lead, but Mississippi State keeps creeping back. And right now, Kentucky's only leading by 4.
Yeah, as expected. I mean, Mississippi State's at home coming off a tough loss. You know they're going to fight to the end. Kentucky's pretty much dominated this game pretty much throughout. But Mississippi State, the second half, has had 2 huge runs to get themselves back into the game. And now they gave themselves an opportunity to basically try to pull off an upset late.
Hugh Weatherspoon has woken up. You know, first half goes scoreless. He's a guy that's getting close to 20 a game in league play. He's been outstanding for the Bulldogs, and he was non-existent in the first half. He has awoken in the second half, made a push, and as a result, Mississippi State's back in the game.
Just a few minutes left. What do you want to see from your Kentucky Wildcats to close it out?
Well, obviously defensively they've been great all year, but offensively we don't know yet who's that guy. Want to see P.J. Washington step up and make a big shot or make a big play. He's been playing terrific basketball.
P.J. Brown must have given you buckets. You got him on the mind. Did he give you?
It's the second time. It's the second time I used him. That's okay.
Last week you used him a little bit. Did he give you buckets?
I used him one time last week and one time today.
Oh, boy. All right. Settle down, boys. It's still early in the evening. We'll talk more Kentucky coming up in just a few minutes. Also, we'll talk about the Tennessee Volunteers as they face Florida tonight. That #1 ranking obviously puts a little bit of a target on their back. We'll have more SEC Now in just a minute.
It won't help you drive or pivot. It won't improve your shot because it's not a shoe. It's life insurance. With John Hancock Vitality, the healthy things you do are your discounts and rewards.
The rules of luxury. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't use.